A couple rocket engines. We want to do a demo firing of some cool stuff that we developed here at the company. You know, there's different kind of rocket engines. There's liquid rocket engines. That's where you have liquid propellants like liquid oxidizers. And, it could be liquid oxygen. It could be nitrous oxide. In fact, this rocket engine runs on laughing gas, nitrous oxide. And the fuel is plexiglass, which is just a piece of plastic. It's got a hole drilled down the middle. We're going to burn it from the center out. You'll actually be looking inside the rocket engine as it's burning. I'm going to try to light it with a piece of steel wool with a pile where I'm going to put a battery across it and see if we can make it glow. And then I'm going to open the valve, the oxidizer, and then hopefully we can light that plastic and crack the N2O. You know, nitrous oxide is an N2O. So you can imagine it's not a great oxidizer because N2 and an O. Fact is, what you're really getting out of it is a lot of heat that's liberated from the heat, what they call heat of formation. That's what did it take to put that nitrogen and that oxygen together. And when you break those bonds apart, there's a lot of energy released. And that's what we're going to liberate here. And that's why it's a decent oxidizer. But it's also good for drag racing and stuff. So what we're going to do is fire a little rocket engine, and when the more oxidizer or nitrous that I put through it, the more thrust it generates. In fact, it probably will generate enough thrust to want to push this cart across here if I let it go. And if it does, I may hop up on it because that could be fun. But I got to, you know, hybrids are pretty cool because you can. Because one of the fuel is a solid, in this case plastic. This here is our Bigelow thruster. This was developed for a space habitat, which is sort of like a hotel in space. And the guy who paid us to do that owns the Budget Suites of America. And he's building a series of big inflatable space stations so people will be able to lease space from him and spend months up there on orbit. In fact, there's 2 modules that are unmanned floating on orbit right now and have been for at least a couple of years. So he came to us a few years ago and asked us to design a rocket engine or a series of rocket engines that would be used to maneuver it around on orbit. But the kicker was this. The rocket engines would run on hydrogen and oxygen, and we would generate hydrogen and oxygen from the wastewater of living and working in space. Which, if you go to ISS, International Space Station, for propulsion, they bring it up, and the Russians do that. In fact, it's hydrazine, and typically they use N2O4 as well. Really nasty propellants. If you guys were to sniff hydrazine, they say it smells sort of like fish. But it's very carcinogenic, and it can cause pneumonia. It can kill you. It's really bad stuff. So if you have a leak on station, that's a bad deal. So we developed a rocket engine over here. I'm going to may try to test it too. So we'll test a hydrogen-oxygen rocket engine. This produces 5 pounds of thrust. We've had a little bit of technical problems with it today, but we will let one of you guys come do that for us. But first of all, I want to test this hybrid. We'll see if it works. Do y'all have any questions before we get into this? Yes, sir. We could generate certainly 5 to 10 pounds of force with this. I have one of these on my bicycle that will do 200 pounds of force on a mountain bike. It'll do as little as 5 pounds of thrust, and if you squeeze the handle and you're really feeling spunky, you can go 200 pounds, and it'll really push you down the road. I've only done about 45 miles an hour in about 3 seconds, and it was really scary. I have a rocket pickup truck that has a 2,700 pound thrust rocket engine. It runs on asphalt and nitrous oxide. It blows 100 pounds of nitrous through the engine in about 10 seconds. And I use a Xbox controller, handheld controller to run that engine. Because it's fun. F-U-N.
And you guys need to watch him on the National Geographic channel, Mad Scientist, the new show they've got out. He's supposed to be on there on November 16th at 9 o'clock, showing off some of his inventions. So y'all check that out.
We're going to be pushing people down the road on rocket power stuff and flying them in the air. It should be cool. Well, let's. I'm going to operate this one for sure. It's cantankerous. Let's see how it does. I got one request from all of y'all. We are close proximity. This could be loud. I would like you to put your fingers firmly into your ears, because that is your hearing protection. This will be as loud as a .38 gun when it's running. Janet, do you need some hearing protection?
I got it. Thank you.
What about for your other ear?
I'll use my finger. Well, I'll use that for this.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'll give a countdown, and everyone will be able to. Can everybody see? Okay. What I'll do is turn a little nitrous on, just see if I can. Jan, do you know what you're doing? Is that what you want a video? Why don't you get over here, Jan? Okay. We'll try to use the electric igniter. If it doesn't work, we may just get a match out. We'll go high tech for starters. Here we go. It'll take a little bit of time to get it going. Okay. Here we go. Count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're getting roasted over there, fella. You okay? All right, that's it.